Good day, everyone.
I was born and raised in Detroit. Growing up there, I saw people like me running things.
This is a courtroom, not a circus, so we're gonna calm down.
I'm sorry.
What I found there was a passion that I didn't know existed.
This is the bottom line.
I'm excited to free fall into the limitless possibilities with we the people. So many are fearful of the law. They think it's something that works against them.
I think you need to begin to accept responsibility for your mistakes.
We are the people.
Martin Lane claims he hired a keynote speaker who refused to talk loudly enough to be heard.
All rise.
Calvin Harris says Mr. Lane knew his brand is the Whisper King, and he's countersuing for $4,000.
Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Lauren Lake presiding.
You may be seated.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello, thank you, Sean. Good day, everyone. Good day. This is a case of Lane versus Harris. Mr. Lane, you are suing Mr. Harris for $7,000 for breach of contract. Mr. Harris, you are countersuing Mr. Lane for $4,000. Plaintiff, you say that the keynote he was supposed to provide went flat fast, and the defendant, you say the tone was by design. What happened here? Mr. Lane, I'll start with you. What type of keynote was this?
Good morning, Your Honor. My name is Martin Lane, and I'm the coordinator of the Golden Years Resource Summit. I present summits, particularly for the elderly folks, designed to bridge the gap between the young and the old. And I want them to learn what the young people feel about technology and to introduce technology and to introduce positive ideas to that committee. So I reached out and I found Mr. Harris on the internet. And I reached out to him first through social media, but ultimately we sent an email for him to be the keynote speaker at this large summit. Now,
and why did you choose him?
I chose him because I believe some of the topics that he had spoken about at other presentations would be a good topic, and it would be interesting to the audience that
what
comes
type
to
of
my
topics?
summit. Well, the topic was on technology and bridging the gap and introducing technology that, quite frankly, people that are in their 70s and 80s might not be familiar with because in their more active life it didn't exist.
All right. And so, Mr. Harris, when you got, what did you do, DM him?
I did.
All right. So when you got the DM, Mr. Harris, this is something that you do often. And so you reached back out with your fee. What's your normal fee?
It can vary from various, it depends on the user's location.
Mr. Harris, I can't hear you. Now,
I'm an ASM motivational speaker. So
right, but right now, you're not an ASM motivational speaker. Right now, you're a defendant. And the quickest way for you to lose this case is I can't hear your testimony. So you can play if you want to. I can rule right now.
Your Honor, my voice is my brand.
Right, but we're not doing branding. Right now, you're defending yourself against allegations of breach of contract. Now, I'm gonna tell you one more time. You either speak up or you can get out.
He reached out to me
I thought so.
He reached out to me via email.
Right.
And my fee depends usually upon the venue that we're at. And this agreed upon fee was $8,000. It was $4,000 up front. And once the keynote was over, $4,000 upon completion. So
half up front, half upon completion. You agreed to that?
I did agree to that, Your Honor, but you have just met the two Calvin Harrises. The very first one was the one that presented at my summit that people couldn't hear.
Oh, and that's who you hired, right?
That is who I hired, but I had 70 people demand $100 full value ticket refunds because they couldn't hear him.
How many people?
It was 70 people, but the tickets were $100. Mm-hmm.
All right, so $7,000.
$7,000. And yeah, I gave him a deposit.
When he came out to do his keynote, he was talking like this.
We went through mic checks, it sounded like it was okay, but the problem with the mic check, there's no audience. And then when the audience was there.
So during the mic check, he was speaking quietly.
He was speaking
Because he's saying
quietly.
he's an ASMR artist. I've seen that stuff online where people like to listen to people whisper.
Correct.
All right, and so you knew that when you hired him.
I did know that when
Were
I
you
hired him,
clear
but I
in the
told him to
contract?
speak up. And it wasn't just me telling him to speak up. It was the audience. The audience kept
But
on demanding that he
Wait
speak
a
up.
minute. Now you getting on my nerves too.
Okay.
Wait a minute. I'm asking you, did you hire Mr. Harris to do ASMR at this event? Or did you hire him to speak about his brand of ASMR at this event?
I hired him.
That's two different things.
I hired him to speak about his brand of
So
ASMR.
where's the contract? Is it in the evidence you presented to the court?
The contract is in the evidence.
Let me look at it.
And that is Exhibit A.
I would just like to point out that I am professionally known as...
Mr. Harris, that little voice you using, don't get on my nerves. Just tell me what you're trying to tell me.
I'm known as the Whisper King.
It's fine,
Okay.
but I'm the queen of this court. So at the end of the day, the queen always wins. You play chess, don't you?
Yes.
Most important piece on the board is who?
The Queen.
And this courtroom is your current chessboard. So what I say goes.
Coming up,
Mr. Harris, when you got this email, what did you think you were being hired to do?
Exactly what I do as a profession, as a career, and that is speak in my low, quiet register ASMR.
if you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. You're watching Emmy-nominated We the People with Judge Lauren Lake. We're back with the case of Martin Lane, who brought Calvin Harris to court for breach of contract.
I'm trying to understand through your communication. You're excited, our participants are hired professionals, retired professionals, I should say. We think what you bring to the table with ASMR will be perfect for them. The balance will be paid at the end of the day following your keynote address. They want to learn new technology and stay current and keep up with the trends in today's fast-paced world. You respond, I'm looking forward to being your keynote speaker, and I will look out for the $4,000 Venmo payment. And then there is proof here. You presented the payment that you did receive $4,000 right here. All right. So this exchange of emails is not a detailed contract.
It's an offer and acceptance, Your Honor.
Well, no. This email exchange that you have was not sufficient because as I read it, I don't know. The first thing I asked when I read this was, does he want him to speak in ASMR or does he want him to speak about ASMR? The other thing that I don't know from this is, how long is he speaking?
That's not the claimed non-performance.
I don't have the time. No, you're suing for breach of contract, right?
I am, but
so I'm looking for the contract.
The claimed non-performance is the poor quality of sound because he wouldn't speak loud enough. And Your Honor, the most important evidence,
Your Honor, he got exactly what he paid for.
The most
exactly
important exhibit is an actual audio recording. It's Exhibit C, where you will hear how low he sounded, and you can hear the people complaining. The court needs to listen to that and play that evidence to see the non-performance.
Mr. Lane, I'm going to ask my questions to Mr. Harris. I'll get back to your evidence as soon as I give you time to realize that you don't run this courtroom. I ask the questions, I get the answers that I need. The real truth is, I'll play your little tape, but I've already heard exactly what he did. I know exactly what happened. And what I'm trying to figure out is, for a man that got all the answers, why you didn't know to be specific about the fact that my clientele are elderly people. I do not want you to speak in ASMR. You can demonstrate it to them for a short amount of time, but I want the talk to be in your true talking voice so that they can hear you. Now, you think about that answer, because when I come back to you, it better be good. Now, Mr. Harris, when you got this email, what did you think you were being hired to do?
Exactly what I do as a profession, as a career, and that is speak in my low, quiet register ASMR.
So that is what you hired to do.
Yes.
When you get opportunities to come and speak places, they're usually hiring you to do what you do online.
Exclusively.
Which is ASMR.
Yes.
And do you also get booked to speak in your normal voice at all? Or is that part of your brand that you're always, when you're in a professional capacity, using ASMR?
Your Honor, this is the first time I've spoken at this volume in about 7 years.
Oh, and so even when you're taking business calls, you're speaking in your ASMR voice?
A lot of it is text message and email, but yes, occasionally.
All right, and so you got this email, and when you prepared your speech, you prepared it thinking in your mind, I'm being called here to do ASMR.
100%.
Thank you. Now, I want to go to the actual event, Mr. Lane. So your guests are there. Mr. Harris is introduced. What happens?
People couldn't hear him. The complaints started to register. The people started to say, speak up, because they couldn't hear him, because he spoke so unbelievably softly, not as he's doing here for the court today. You will hear it on the evidence. You will hear it on Exhibit C. And the event just fell apart. And when it got to the Q&A is derived from appreciating what was discussed and then asking follow-up questions. But people couldn't do that because they couldn't appreciate and hear and understand what was said. We changed mics in mid-course.
So he did a keynote and then a Q&A?
Correct.
Where is the contract? It's only this 2 email? Because when you do a Q&A, that's also included in the detailed contract. Don't have it.
Coming up.
What did you do at that point?
We changed mics, but the mic is only going to pick up how
Did you
he
ever ask
speaks.
him to say, can you do a talk in your normal voice, which speaks about ASMR, but doesn't do the entire speech in ASMR?
I did, Your Honor, and he refused.
You're watching Emmy-nominated We the People with Judge Lauren Lake. We're back with the case of Martin Lane, who brought Calvin Harris to court for breach of contract.
Okay, I want to listen to this tape, and then I'm going to rule.
Life is loud. It yells at you the moment you wake up. Deadlines, notifications, expectations, bills, opinions you didn't ask for. People telling you who you should be, where you should be by now, and why you're already behind. And after a while, you stop hearing yourself. That's why I whisper. Because when life is screaming, the only way to cut the noise is to not shout back, but to slow everything.
Okay. And so when I can hear your audience was not happy. They couldn't hear, they couldn't understand. And so what did you do at that point?
We changed mics, but the mic is only going to pick up how
Did you ever ask him
speaks.
to say, can you do a talk in your normal voice, which demonstrates and speaks about ASMR, but doesn't do the entire speech in ASMR?
I did, Your Honor, and he refused.
And so, Mr. Harris, when they asked you, could you speak up, please? Why did you refuse?
He hired me as the Whisper King. That is my brand, that is my livelihood. I have sponsors, I have partnerships, and there were hundreds of people there, and if they see this keynote and then they go out and start spreading the word about the keynote, and all of a sudden I'm speaking in a regular voice.
Part of your mystery is no one really knows your regular voice. That when you're speaking, it's always in your Whisper King voice.
Coming up.
You found an ASMR Whisper King, and then you got mad when he got to your event and was whispering.
You're watching Emmy-nominated We the People with Judge Lauren Lake. We're back with the case of Martin Lane, who brought Calvin Harris to court for breach of contract.
Mr. Lane, did anybody from your organization come down to tell everybody it takes a minute to adjust, right? Give him an opportunity to show you what it is he does. And then maybe someone from the team could come in and talk about why you chose him. Because this is the part that's getting me. Your testimony opened with, you researched and found him. You found an ASMR whisper king, and then you got mad when he got to your event and was whispering.
I found his topic.
Make that make sense.
I found his topic interesting, but at the very beginning, in the email that you have brought up is not a contract. It said that the audience was people
No,
in
it's
their
not a detailed
60s.
contract.
It's not a detailed contract. Was not that the audience was in their 60s to 80s. Your Honor.
No, stop.
And he could have.
Stop talking. Let me go to your countersuit. Your countersuit is for $4,000. I take it you didn't get the other half of your money.
I did not. That is the second half of the payment due to me for a job, in my opinion, well done.
And how long did you speak in ASMR?
I'd say it was scheduled for an hour.
And you suing for $7,000 because you want that money back because everybody wanted to refund.
All I'm asking for is for him to be held responsible for the refunds that I had to give. That was for 70 people, $100 a ticket, give back $7,000. It's fascinating. I thought people would have been interested. We obviously had a lot of people there, but people couldn't hear him. All he had to do was speak louder. They told him that.
Lane,
I told him that.
I've heard enough.
Judge Lake's verdict when We the People returns. You're watching Emmy-nominated We the People with Judge Lauren Lake.
The problem with this entire thing is that the contract is not detailed. And it sounds like you didn't have a detailed contract as it relates to the ticket sales either, because you should have said, just because you didn't like one aspect of the event, doesn't mean you get your money back for the whole event. So if you already refunded them out of good faith, that's on you. Mr. Harris is not responsible for that. Now, Mr. Harris, as it relates to your countersuit for $4,000, let me give you a tip as well. As a working paid speaker, you can have your own agreement. And so there's no question that when people hire the Whisper King, that he will only be whispering. This was not clear in this situation. For this reason, I'm dismissing both your claim and your counterclaim. The $4,000 you got on that deposit is enough, and that $7,000 that you lost, that's on you. Court is adjourned.
All rise.
Judge Lake has ruled. Both claims are dismissed.
Well, I think I learned a lesson. I think I need to have a better contract. I appreciated what the judge said.
He hired me as the Whisper King. Nowhere did it say you need to be the talk a little louder so Mrs. Plymouth in the back row can hear you, King.
This has been a production of Allen Media Group.